So I'm preparing to live stream the meeting. Takes a little bit of time. While I do that, I'm going to go to Loom. That's fine. I see everybody here. My camera is off on my Loom. I don't need a second Loom recording. 3, 2, 1. Have a little thing, and I'm ready to go. The content of this is being sent to a third party. Zoom is letting me know there's a third party involved. And hopefully we have everybody's cameras on. And we're going through it. Okay. If there's anything that you need, let me know. Okay. Welcome, folks. We'll see if other people join us. We are recording too, so we can get. Okay, so this next part of the semester, we're going to be talking about a new project, and we'll be focusing in on AI and generative AI. You know that it's making all the scenes in terms of stock prices going way up if they have something done with generative AI or AI. A lot of companies, they don't even have AI, but they say they have AI. That'll be something that we'll try to distinguish too. What is the big deal here? It may be what part is it hype? What part is it not? But what I do want us to do for our project is concentrate on generative AI tools in being able to use them to be able to evaluate different tools. And as the semester goes on, there'll be new companies coming on more and more. So you can see that everybody wants to jump on the bandwagon. Everyone's buying other companies. Amazon, you know, has Alexa, and Alexa's not that bright. So basically, they bought a AI company that's doing learning models. Amazon, Apple, you think with all their resources, having Siri, even though Siri was one of the first, right? Everybody said, hey, Siri, but that also had some intelligent issues. So what did Apple decide to do is they are in partnership with Google to say, help us, and put it on our phones. So our phones will be intelligent. So Apple didn't reach out to Microsoft or OpenAI since OpenAI, but reached out to Google looking at their algorithms. So we know that it's popular. So we'll talk about using those for your project. So I'll work with you on that. So today I'm going to give an assignment about your projects, and we'll discuss it. And every week I will be with you evaluating your work, giving you feedback. So the last Monday in the month of April, you will be doing your presentation. So let me share my screen. Ben, Tej, and Natty, they'll be putting on their cameras as we're getting people up and running. And I'm sharing my screen. And in midst of sharing my screen, you see that we're here, powered by Zoom, and you can see that we are delayed due to the internet jumping from server to server. I go to the content. I'm in section K, which is good. Let's start with what's due. I always like to see what's due, make sure that everybody, some people are in and out here, what's due. Let me so many different things running here. Let me turn this off. And if I look at what's due, you should be seeing, since you have a different role than I do, I as instructor, having broader roles than you do, you should see 2 assignments. The first assignment is due this Monday before class, not after class, but before class, which is looking at cloud computing. We spoke about cloud computing last time a bit, and we have the regular quiz from Tech Cloud that you get 2 times, and then we have the TG3, which is the Tech Guide 3 Cloud Computing for the adaptive assignment found under Wiley Plus. I'm asking you to read these 2 URLs, one from Azure, which is Microsoft's solution for cloud services, and read the other one, which is AWS, standing for Amazon Web Services, sponsored by Amazon. Amazon had past couple of years been the leader. Now Microsoft Azure, with its AI acquisitions, has come into more favor than it was before. I listed here just questions based on the readings and based on the articles about knowing cloud computing. It's on demand, pay as you go. You as a user of cloud computing can decide whether you want a public cloud, sharing your space with other users, though it's password protected, versus private. It could even be on your own computer or your own premises or others, and a hybrid approach. We talked about cloud services, where we talk about as a service. We talk about I for infrastructure, meaning that it's going to be my computers, my hard drives, my databases. P for platform, my operating system, where I do not have to have it on premise on my machine, but I can use a remote computer with a certain operating system. And software as a service, again, my software doesn't have to reside on my computer, can reside in the cloud, which means that there's an internet access point to get to it. This has been basically very generic. There's a little bit of tendency now to do what they call edge computing, is bringing back, not always going to the cloud, because notice it takes time. When I go and look at my Zoom YouTube broadcast, you can see that I am late. I have some latency there. So depending on my application, that latency can be of a bother. I've added a couple more readings to you that are important. One is called on generative AI. How does generative AI work? And let me go to a new tab and let me show you this. What I'd like to do for Monday is start reading as much really as you can on generative AI. And this is an article which really discusses the idea of what do we mean by generative AI being a type of artificial technology. And now we can see that it includes text, it can include imagery, it can include audio. Now it's nice, you can even describe something. Audio, videos can be produced. Some of it is, of course, scary because we have like these deep fakes that can be happening quite more often. And this basically article is pretty deep, but talks about I'd like you to get an overview, and then things that are not clear, I'll spend some time on, but the generative AI evolution. And when you think about it, it really started quite a few years ago, but what made it really popular was ChatGPT that came into fruition. But this talks about how does generative AI work, the earlier versions, and we have something called an API. And Daniel, what's an API? Do you have an idea?
It's a protocol where two different systems could communicate over the internet.
Yeah, so basically, let me just put this in here. Let me just do this here.
Application programming interface. That's
Exactly. So basically, when I think about an API, and I'll tell you what it is in English, but an API stands for Application Programming Interface. And now that you know the term, what my point to you is, Charlie, who cares what the words mean? The question is why is that important for you? So what's important is an API. Think about, I'll give you an example. I'm using Zoom, right? Right, Charlie? I'm using Zoom. And what do I do? The second thing I do, I record to Zoom. And then what's the second thing I do when I start doing all my recordings?
You live stream on
I
YouTube.
live stream, and where am I live streaming to? It's like we rehearsed this, Charlie. Isn't it great? It's as if we do. Where are we live streaming to? What application?
To YouTube.
YouTube. Are they owned by the same company?
No.
No. What do we need to do? We need to get an interface between the two. So Zoom says, hey, I want you to stay in my network. So I'm going to create an application program interface. I'm going to use an application program interface to interface. What's the application? Zoom. We're going to program it to another application, YouTube. It's kind of like giving us the hooks. A lot of software, what's the advantage for YouTube? To give them those hooks.
Are you asking me?
Mm-hmm. Is there any?
I mean, it allows like people who are already on YouTube to use YouTube, so more people
so
are on.
If people are on my channel, right? Let's say I had such an exciting sessions, right? My subscribers on YouTube can see it more in real time, closer in real time, rather than waiting till I finish my entire class and maybe all 3 classes. And then I would tell Daniel, do me a favor and upload those files from Zoom to YouTube. So there's an incentive for all those parties to have those application program interfaces. So this article starts talking about the different generative AI models. It's pretty deep. It's pretty heavy. Some of you that have more background is interesting, but here they start talking about, DALL-E, ChatGPT. Now you can see this is already an old article, because how do I know that it's an old article? In this case, Caden, it says DALL-E, ChatGPT, and Bard. What's the new name for Bard?
For Bard?
Mm-hmm. And if we don't know, what do we do?
Look it up.
Look it up. Look it up. We can ask ChatGPT, what's the new name for Bard? And what do we get?
Oh, and ChatGPT.
But I'm just saying, what's the new name for Bard in this case? So what did we find? So Garen, did you
Okay.
find what's the new name for Bard? If I'm asking anyone in the class, everyone should be looking too, because you never know.
Is it Gemini?
Gemini.
Yeah.
Gemini. So can you imagine? This article was out last semester. This semester already, Bard has been changed to Gemini, right? So in these cases, things are happening so much, but those are the things that basically Dolly, and there's ones in Chat GPT versus Bard. Now, is this outdated, you think, Sophie? This is going to be outdated already. What was Chat GPT versus Bard, right? It's already every 3 months that every month everybody adds differences to it. But you get the idea here of the overview of what are the use cases for generative AI. And they're going to be becoming more and more of it. Implementing chatbots for customer services. All these deep fakes are scary, aren't they? The dubbing of movies all of a sudden, right? Dating, all these writing email responses, dating profiles, resumes, term papers, and the education business was getting freaked out because who's writing anything? But
Have you seen the replies on LinkedIn? They're all just, canned AI responses.
yeah, now everybody in a lot of things for everything, and you can see where. But you know what, Daniel, I think they're going to get better, so you can't tell later on if they can't. Now that
Probably.
sometimes when the students write me emails,
Well, it's not that they're bad, it's that they're very unique to
I
like
know,
an
but you
AI
can always
writing.
tell their style.
Exactly, yeah.
I get emails from students that I know that were done by ChatGPT, but you know what? In one sense, I'm happy that it's written, there's no spelling mistakes, that it's especially for when English is not your mother tongue, it saves a lot of work, it saves a lot of time. It depends on the aspects of it. It sometimes what you can do is give you the first draft, Daniel, and then you can go back and do it. They talked about ethics and generative AI, ethical approaches. And then here's the idea. What's the difference between generative AI versus AI? And generative AI versus predictive AI versus conversational AI. It gets confusing. But we need to know that. Don't you think? I mean, it's going to be so important for us. And if we're going to be thinking about doing consulting, it's really going to be important for you to look at it. Predictive, meaning what it's going to be. Predictive in a way is what we wanted in the trading systems. Some of you were writing your answers and you were saying back testing is predictive. Back testing isn't predictive. Back testing tells me what I did in the past. It doesn't necessarily predict what's going to be in the future, but there's so many different predictive. Now they're using predictive where? In healthcare, right? Basically, some of those actresses I saw, in their 30s. I forgot who was that, Munn or something. She had breast cancer, they found, and she said because she took these assessments, she thinks that's how they found it, because she had a high probability. The whole idea is now the predictive helping conversational AIs. You see this all the time. Virtual assistants, chatbots, customer service. Some work really well, some not, but you see it. And best practices in the future of generative AI. And even the future of generative AI, you can think about it as a problem. Now, this is audio here. And notice the symbol here is postcast apps. So later on, we'll discuss in this class also even creating podcasts, because it's changing so frequently. That may be an idea that we may want to do, having a couple of episodes, learning how to do a podcast. And especially if we're going to be doing consulting in AI, it's almost like, what's the latest today? What's the latest later on? Generative AI benefits for business. Some of these businesses we can get up and running. Why is all these companies running after it? All these software companies say, I got to get in my market. NVIDIA saying, hey, I got to get faster GPUs and to be able to do many of these. And then frequently asked questions. Has the potential to replace a variety of jobs. How do you build an AI model? How do you train an AI model? What's next for generative AI? So I think this is really, and here's some terms. Get your feet wet. Will it ever gain consciousness, right? And AI peer product reviews. This is an area which I think would be interesting for us to look at, for you to think about what area of you are interested in and do some product reviews. And of course, everything's getting larger and larger. But this, I think, is pretty in-depth and has a nice version of that. So if you can think about it in terms of the content, be able to answer this question. What are the benefits? What are the use cases? What are the concerns? And do you see this, Sophie? These could be nice open-ended questions already that you could already prepare for, that you wouldn't have to wait to the 17th, Sophie, that you could already look at this. And I could tell you that these questions could be possibilities for me to ask you in the class, in the test, I'm saying in the class. Okay. So that's what I want for Monday. And Wednesday, on Wednesday, I want a draft of the business tech proposal. And this draft of the business tech proposal is, I have it in a number of different places. One, I have it right here. Two, I have it under exercises and quizzes. And another place where I want, once you do the draft, is I want you to upload it in your audit area. So what I am allowing us to do this, the rest of the semester, is we're going to have our project and we'll have a separate tab for our project. You can choose your group. You want to stay with your old group, that's fine. You want to create a new group, that's fine with me. The only thing that I ask you to do if you're going with a new group, common courtesy, is tell your old group that you're going to be forming a new group. And we'll look at that, instructions for the proposal. So if I look at the assignment, basically, I am making a change this semester, a slight change than I did for my project last semester. Dylan was in my class last semester, and is Dylan here?
Yep,
Yeah,
I'm
he's
here.
in.
Okay, good. So
Hello.
Dylan, I'll have you look at the semester, but what we're going to be doing this semester, rather than a generic business proposal, what each group is going to be is a consulting company that gives advice to businesses about generative AI products or techniques to help them be more profitable, to help them be more efficient, to help them be more effective, to help them be closer to their customer. You decide what area you want to be. You decide if you want to be marketing, if you want to do fashion, you want to do Excel, you want to do mental health. You decide as the group, we're going to be using Wix platform just because I have an academic partnership with them, and we get to use their paid version and get domain name for free for a year. So we're using them not necessarily because they're the best, but because we'll be able to use a lot of their features along with their API to Zoom, along with being able to do their calendar, and charging. So basically, you need to be prepared once you decide to answer these questions. What's your business idea, the problem identification, your AI-driven solution? Tentatively, what's the choice of products you're going to look at? It may be generically in a group. It may be for right now, you'll look at some products, but you are allowed to add, and it'll probably be in addition to it when you find others, since this is going to be the first pass around. And what
Hey,
types of-
Professor.
Yes.
I have a real quick question. So we were planning on doing a group of 5. So what would be the extra things that we would need
Okay,
to
we'll
consult?
talk about it. Okay, let me just show you what to do. Okay.
Okay,
But one of the
my bad.
extra thing, I don't like 5, but if you're going to do 5, for instance, everything else. So for instance, you have to do videos. You have to do more videos. You have to do the social media. You have to do more social media. Any things of you have, so that each person in your group has a substantial group of work, rather than, we're going to be a group of 5 and we're going to be doing the same. 2 people are going to be doing the work.
Yep. All right. Thank you.
So you have to divide. I don't like it, and some people even like groups of 3. I'd rather do groups of 3 than 5, but if you're into 5, then just know that you'll have to be able to divvy up the work, and that everybody will take their fair share. Because what my problem is, sometimes in groups of 5, we got 2 people doing the work and other 3 people saying, hey, when am I gonna, what slide should I present at the end? And even though we are going to do peer reviews of each of the groups, I find that many times the peer review is overstated, because they say, oh, he's my friend, how can I do that, blah, blah, blah. So it's overstated. So I also will require each person to basically document what did they do for the projects. So that's it. Okay, thank you. All right, so let's do this. This is the part. So let me go to the other part, which is our audit area. Let's have everybody go to the audit area. So let me log in. Sure, I'm there. So if I go to my courses, and then I'm in K, so I need my K audit. And if I have my K audit, you see, let me move this so people that are viewing it. I've added a new tab called Project Groups. So under Project Groups, you'll see my first project group is Group 0, which is Dylan, Spencer, and Daniel. When you have your groups, you'll put it in just like you did in your regular groups, where you'll have, of course, it'll follow the fields, right? And the records, right, that will be field of first name, last name, email, and phone. And then under Group 0, you will put another folder called Project Proposal. So you can do this already. If you know already what your group is, you can put that in while we're speaking here and make sure that everyone is. Under Project Proposal, I want you to do 2 to 3 ideas. It's due next Wednesday and it's 2 to 3 ideas. Put the summary right there so I see it. Under the project proposal, you'll see that the ideas here based on what we talked about before is your business idea, the problem, AI driven, your products, and your target scenario. And then if I go back here, you can see here under group 0, I have, for instance, Dylan, who created his project and website, where notice on his, it's a full domain name. And notice since it was last semester, it's still working. That's the beauty. He can continue. And I was telling Dylan, one is you could even add to it, and 2, you could present that for interview, for internship, or if it's really of interest, you could continue. So this is the accelerators. So I'm going to stop sharing, and Dylan, you want to share then and show yours?
Yeah. So this is the company I created last semester. It's called Accelerators, kind of a pun off Excel and accelerate the word. So the main purpose of this company is to provide consultation for mainly small businesses, business analytics. So it uses Microsoft Copilot, which is the AI within Excel. So if you look here, I created a short video here showcasing kind of how it works. It'll pop up on the right. That's the AI part of it. It can kind of create graphs on its own and a lot of other functions. So yeah, so when you create your company, you kind of want to focus on how the AI is gonna how you're gonna use the AI to help other companies, and specifically like what AI you're using. So I use Microsoft Copilot to do it. Also, it's gonna look like a real website, not just like a college project. Like I have like contact information here. There's social media, which works. Like if I clicked here, it will go, oh, okay, that's awkward.
It's good to see, huh?
It will, there wasn't.
Didn't it work before?
That was
Or
Spencer.
maybe that was in Spencer's.
I wonder if it,
The Instagram worked. That's the one she clicked before.
maybe the LinkedIn.
Yeah, but that was with, is
Oh.
your LinkedIn working?
Okay, maybe it got deleted.
Yeah, so one of the things, these links need to work. One of the
Yeah.
things that I thought about too, Dylan, which is interesting, is
Mhm.
that everybody needs to have at least 3 social media
Mhm.
parts, and they have to be, you have to populate them throughout the project rather than waiting to the last minute. And what else would be interesting, Dylan,
Mhm.
is almost like eating our own dog food. Your company, everybody's company, could search out and look at different products that may help in social media, into posting you could
Mhm.
use, and then you could even write about that as well, of social media. So you could almost in that case, in order not only do the social media, but try out some of those aids to help you
Right.
create some of your posts. So that
Gener-
can be done.
Yeah,
And
generative
then the
AI.
other thing that I wanted to say is, it's great. You could even use, for instance, since everybody is familiar with recording in Zoom, you could put even with Zoom where you put your transcript up, that you put your closed captioning. So you could even have it,
video.
if you wanted to, as closed captioning. That's another idea. So people were asking me about the differences between a group of 5 and a group of 3, is I would expect then to have not only more videos, but that they be of quality. If they're not quality, we don't want to put them up. So it's not quantity for sake, but that it has this theme, and you can see, and that they're short. Nobody wants to see like a, our probably an hour video on that. Okay,
Mhm.
go ahead.
Yeah. And also going off the generative AI, like you can use it for your social media. It's great for that. I created my
Right.
logo through that just by typing in what I want, and Dolly generated a bunch of different
Right,
options.
so you can even have like a description of how you did your site of talking about different generative AI tools that you actually did review and use, and then you could put that as part of your consulting services as another ones of let us help you also generate your logos. We'll help you with that. Okay, go
Yeah.
ahead.
So that was the home page. Here is the about page where I kind of go more in depth about what the AI can actually do for these small businesses and how they can use them to their advantage. So just a little bit of like delve deeper into data analyst, discover key insights. Like it can point out specific facts that you wouldn't think about on your own. It can create charts, obviously, and do like specific highlighting. It could also generate formulas. So yeah. And then on the programs page, I don't know if this will be required for the next time, but we kind of talked a little bit about the company and what we can provide, such as consultation, internships, job opportunities, and
I
networking.
think that's good. The other one you may want to do on, yeah, go ahead. I'll make some more comments.
And then on the next page, this is how like we actually sell our product, which is kind of one of the most important parts of the project. So our company offers three different consultation services. The first one is like a one-to-one introductory consultation with a business. So they can hire us and meet with us, and we can like look at their own analytics and see how we can help them. And then if they want to continue, they can do this option and keep going through that, and then our company would get revenue. And then this last one is kind of like a class that accelerators would offer to like anyone who wants to learn how Microsoft Copilot works within Excel and get better at those skills.
Yeah. So
And these
this
are
one,
all,
yeah, go ahead.
yeah. So these are all virtual classes that like hypothetically we could host and people would come and then we would do videos. And like if I wanted to say I wanted to get one of these, if I wanted to come, I could go through here. This is all set up through Wix. It's pretty easy to do. You just fill in the information you want. And then eventually you'll go to like a payment screen here. And then yeah.
So if
Wix
you go back to that one,
right here.
this is nice where you can set up Copilot class where you have a calendar. What else you can do is if you have Zoom and you'll need to get a private version of Zoom, you can just do the free version. So with Wix, you can connect Zoom where you have authority and create what, Charlie, an API for Wix and Zoom. So basically you could then say, we're having a class. You could even have it like a free class. Maybe you could have like a short free class. And then if they like it, they can go to other classes via Zoom. And then you could even, at this point, show a little video, Dylan, of what is basically of how the class will be. And you can give like a 1 minute overview, almost like a trailer, just like that tease of what the class is going to be like. So the more that you can show, the difference about this project for this semester is I want everybody to try out the softwares and to get at least to be able to evaluate it. And then you can evaluate it and say, hey, these are issues. This was not easy to do. This is where I got stuck. This is where it gave me the wrong answer. This is easier to do with another program. You can make comparisons of those programs. I'm leaving it up to you. But each group is a consulting. You can do the same type of topic too. I'm not asking each one to do it. So if someone wanted to take on Dylan's and expand on that and use Excel, or maybe they wanted to expand and use it on other Microsoft and how to do presentations. or how to do marketing. So you can say, you could even take, I'm not going to make it that two people can't do the same topic area. It will be, of course, it will be just different.
Mhm.
Of different videos, you'll have different emphasis based on the people in your group. And then you want to show them the team.
Yeah, and that second last page is the team. So we want to make this professional. We don't want to, like, we are college kids, but we're also business people. So we want to have professional photos and then descriptions about ourselves that make us
And
incredible.
here I would do show all, and then we'll show the sponsors.
Yeah, and then the last page is sponsors. So these are potential sponsors that we could end up working with in the future.
Mhm.
Say, for example, Google Sheets has a similar product as Microsoft Copilot,
Mhm.
then our company would become experts at the Google Sheets version, and then we could teach other
Mhm.
companies that
And so
too.
you could even have some parts on this side of what's coming up next. And what
Right.
I see is later on, I'll show you how to do podcasts. So you could then basically integrate, if you have an RSS feed, you can even have it's easy to set up. If you have a YouTube channel, it's easy to set up even a podcast. It takes maybe a minute to set up a podcast once you have that channel in YouTube, and then you could go to Spotify, create. The only thing you'll need is for both of them, you'll need to have a cover art, and then you could even use some AIs to help you with the cover art.
Definitely.
And then you would just get an RSS feed, upload. You could upload 2 or 3 to Spotify. YouTube would ask for your RSS feed from Spotify, and every time you created a new episode, it would be on your YouTube channel, it could be on your Spotify, and you could put then an RSS feed. This also does podcasts, Wix, which we didn't do before, Dylan. You could have then it just plug in your RSS feed anytime you got a new episode talking now about Google Sheets,
Mhm,
you
mhm.
could see on the Google Sheets. So
Right.
if you could bring up any comments on Dylan's excellent job. And then if you could see of course, your social media, since
Yeah,
it's
I
been
should
done,
link.
it would need to be linked. All your links have to work, of course.
Mhm.
You would need to have videos explaining what you were doing and reaching out.
Yeah.
So basically show on your website that you understand some of these tools, and give the assumption that this is just a sample of these tools. You could even ask your end users, do you know, or even vendors, having a form to suggesting what else should we look at. That'd be good, Dylan, to suggest, what competes with, or what do businesses need in the finance area? What do they want? Oh, we need something on BI, business intelligence. So you could ask them, reaching out to vendors, and then you could even have some of the vendors come in on your Zoom. You could say, hey, meet with the vendor, and they'll explain to us more in depth, because there's no way we could be completely, you can say we're investigating it, but what's unique about us, we're actually having more experts come in to explain, and then we're a independent service, that we're not bent to any company, because we're more independent. So you can think about like those consulting companies now.
Dr. Rush.
Yes.
So this project is available for us to view at any time, right?
Which one?
This excellent one.
Yeah. Where
Yeah,
is it?
the
Where
links.
is it?
It's an audit, right?
Yeah.
Well,
He's group 0.
Mhm.
And then if you want to show, you can show also
Yeah, so
Spencer's.
another TA created this one, which is
Show
a
where they get it.
oh wait, sorry. Um, it'll be in the audit. Wait, it's J. Okay. So
Okay.
you go to project groups, click my group, and then it'll be here.
So you see Dylan's, that's his website, and then Spencer. What Spencer looked at is she was looking at mental health. So what Spencer ended up saying is, hey, we don't have enough counselors. People may not want to go to counselors. People don't even have time to go to counselors, and it's hard to get an appointment with counselors. Students are telling me in the counseling center, it's really hard, right? So what she's created was a business in the way that she says, hey, we're looking at the new AI managed mental health community, where it's developing then a way to use, they're evaluating AI apps. And what I like, and this is something that I wanted to stress, is that right in the beginning, you know what she's doing, rather than welcome to something so esoteric. Probably the thing that may be changing a bit for this semester is that you're a consulting company helping maybe the mental health community, maybe end users on where should we go for having apps to help us. And then in this college kids helping college kids, that we're college kids, we're helping you not only decide what apps to use, but maybe in combination, using an app, an AI app, plus using real people. Or I go see a counselor in the week and I do my homework, like my breathing exercises, with an app. And then you can see here, you can go down, I guess, and see what she's done,
Yeah.
what it is, right? The hub, she's now evaluated. One was called Annie, and she evaluated. You can see she's done a video on using it. Go down. And support services, immediate action, AI therapy. Here she has how to get in touch, the journey, and go down. And notice here, let's try the Instagram. Notice on here, let's see if it's working. I think there was where she was working, right? And these, of course, have to be relevant to what she has, and it has to be looking that it keeps on populating and it's of good quality. And let's go back to hers. And then if we go back up,
Your support services.
yeah, support services. Let's look at, yeah, go up a little bit. See here, AI chat bot therapy. So at this point, if you click there at the AI chat, right. So here in the AI chat there, here is where she's reviewing it. So here she handpicked all of these and making, not only using it, but actually evaluating it. So showing how it works. You can decide how you want to do these videos. I'm giving a lot of discretion. You want to do 2 people doing the video, 1 person doing the video, dividing it up. Some people were asking if I've even discussing it, where they can use it. You can use all your, and go back up, Dylan. So you can see that this is it. What I like is about us. Right? She talks about it. And then here's meet the team. What I like here, go down a little bit. And go up. Notice everybody has friendly pictures, professional pictures. It's not, it looks professional, but go back up a little bit just to see, like, Spencer's. What I like about this one, it doesn't look like a student project. It looks real. Spencer puts not only her title, which she puts herself as the founder, and it's not she's saying Spencer's majors in accounting with a strong foundation, financial management, but it's not the first line, I'm a sophomore at the University of Miami majoring in, and my hobbies are whatever, but rather focusing in on what she is in this company. Do you understand that, Dylan? It's a role in the company rather than we're students. It's fine that you're students, but I don't want that to be the emphasis. Because then when people see it, oh, this is just a student project, but rather this is a viable business. And what you need to figure out then is, number one, what are you interested in? And number two, going out and evaluating what's available. Is in terms of we're going to be looking and actually using them. Are we going to compare between, in this case, for marketing to be able to help us do social media? So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be helping social media companies, helping businesses do their social media, helping them with AI. Is it going to be helping them with doing accounting? Is it going to help them do Microsoft Office? Is it going to be able to do for art? Looking at different ones that can help us do art. And that's it. Okay. And then you can see the book online. She has kind of similar things. If you say book online, she's doing on booking online for helping with groups, but these could be book online for helping them use different programs. Okay. So this is the beginning. Where ours is that we're a consulting group helping businesses, and you can decide what type of businesses you want to help in using and you're using within. It's almost like we're a shop that we're trying AI within our own company. We'll share with you how we're growing and using AI, for instance, of doing DALI and helping in writing our website and helping us do social media, to reaching out and helping other people. So my goal is, what did you learn in using these AI tools? So you should be in the best of situation, at least you're familiar with getting familiar with some of these tools. What are the positive? What are the negative? How can you use them, and give examples? So you can, I think we can go back to, let's go back to the audit area then.
All right.
So in the audit area, go to project groups. You can see here what I asked you. Those of you that already know what group you want to be in, actually put them in now. And you can give yourself a group number. It just has to be, like 1 through 10. Everybody can, and put them in order. And then go into the group again, group 0. Everybody's group. Can you click group 0? And once you click group 0, you should have, you're not going to have your website link. You should have your project proposal. What I suggest is you get that first draft on Monday, so I can give you feedback, and Wednesday I can sign off and we can go to the next step. Okay. So that's under, everybody understands, you can see it under project groups. Did I answer the question? And you can look at Dylan's as an example, and Spencer, just knowing that the added one is you'll be adding that you're a consulting company doing some part of AI tools, looking at maybe certain businesses and certain topics. You may want to look at food. You can decide whatever interest you want as being a reasonable, that somebody would come and ask you questions and you would help them. And you're giving almost that piece, even though you're consulting, you're almost giving them information on this website and others to give them a taste of what you are. Because in this area, you have to give in order to receive. People have to see that you have something to give. that you're not, and that's the whole idea, that you have some skills to help me. Help me even decide what should be my internet strategy, because everybody's suffering with that. Everybody doesn't know what to go. And that's the beauty here, is we're all almost on an equal playing field. Okay. Anything else you want to present, Dylan? Anything else you want to talk about, Daniel?
I put some sample proposals in there.
Okay,
I can go in there. Right here.
okay, great. Okay. Perfect. And use your internet and use it to think, what can we what you're interested in? That's the whole takeaway. That's the beauty of this project, is you actually can use it. Actually,
Yeah.
there's something that I can use. That's what I like about it, rather than, oh, I got a whatever grade you got on this on a test. What can you use with that? You know, but the idea that you can actually take, rather than just writing a paper, you know, that I can actually do this. This URL can work for a year, and I've learned these skills, and I've learned, hey, these are some issues too. And then after 2 weeks, you'll probably go back and you'll see how it's changed too. Like I showed you, all of a sudden that article says BARD, and now BARD is obsolete. You almost have to go to, and that's what you almost have to. And then you could even ask Gemini and the others to give you ideas. Which product should I use? You understand that, Dylan? You use them to help me. I'm interested in sports and sports teams or whatever, or college sports.
Yeah.
What
No, I
kind
think
of
it's good
idea
to use
could I
AI to brainstorm.
Yeah. I would suggest that every group, and the opposite, you know how some classes you have to kind of like on the side use the chat GPTs and the Geminis. I'd even have a couple of those, the Claude, the Gemini, and the chat GPT. Have all three of them be part of your group. Ask them the same questions, and even have them talk to one another to come up with some ideas. And show how you use it. Instead of hiding it, flaunt how you use it. That it's part of my group. And there are a lot of times they know more than people in your group do. Okay. Anything else?
That's all.
Daniel or Dylan or anyone else out in the crew? Can
Should we put
stop?
a time on when they should pick the group spot?
They need to pick it by the end of really by Friday. Because I want a first draft done on Monday, and Wednesday we're signing off. If they can do it tonight, it'd be the best, right?
I guess like if they don't have a group, they could stay at the end and see.
Yeah, see
Yeah.
who's coming in. But I'd like even to do it tonight, you know? We don't have to basically baby, but it's a great point. Yeah, because if we wait for a week, you know, people are saying, oh, I'm not here, I'm doing this, I didn't come in. You're ready, you know, we can't even continue. If you don't have a group and you don't have it signed off, you can't continue with the project. And every week we're doing, you can see that even if it is a lot of it, you know, you can use the templates that like you can use ChatGPT to help you create, or Gemini. You can help it brainstorm, but you have to pick. You have to read it and make sure that it makes sense that you're going to actually do it.
Yep.
Because you're going to have to.
The group should
What?
add their email address and phone number to their name. The
Yes,
same way we did
let's look at the
group.
project groups again.
One group already added their stuff.
Okay, yeah. So Isabel, Matt, and Michael, of course, that's not enough. You guys know that, right? That after you put that in, right, you need your emails and phone.
It's the same format as the groups were
Exactly the same
before.
format as the projects. Thank you so much, Daniel. Yeah, the same format. I'd like it to be even done tonight, you know, of the groups. Put them in now. Yeah, you may want to send that out.
Yep.
You may want to send that, Daniel, an email out to everyone, or announcement. The groups need to be done. So we can already have a draft for Monday. And if you can't, reach out to the other groups, or even, you have their email. You can send email to everybody and say, hey, I don't have a group and this is what I'm interested in. Does anybody want to join me? I want to do on marketing, or I want to do on,
Or even someone could put it in the chat now for the last few minutes.
of what they're looking for and staying. So before they leave and say, hey, I'm not sure, or even in the case of have the same group that they had before. And then if somebody doesn't like it, they can leave that group. But at least they started already. Do you understand that? At least I know I have my group. Maybe it wasn't, that I wanted to get, it wasn't forever, that group, just like marriage, right? But it's good enough. At least we can get something up and running. Okay, so what else? Questions? So comments. Gabriella, what are your comments?
Mine?
Yep.
That I need one more person for my group.
Okay, so what have you put in already? The ones that you have? Put in
No,
the ones
not yet.
So put in the ones you have. How many people do you have in a group?
3.
3. Okay. Start even with 3. Put 3 in.
Okay.
Later on, people can join your group.
Okay.
So that's
Thank
what I would do on that one, is if you don't have it in that case. So Jalen, what's up?
I'm gonna work with my same group from the other
Okay, so
projects.
let's put it in. So that's the easy one. Let's not, it's like this isn't, finding your final love here. You know what I mean? We're left, you know what I mean? So in this case, a group is better than no group. Later on, you can do it. You have 3 people, put in 3 people, and then later on, you can add in. There'll be, stragglers coming in that you can add additional
I
stragglers.
think one more thing really quickly,
Yeah.
if I could share my screen.
Sure.
So at some point, there's going to be more groups here, and they're going to be out of order.
Yeah, that we can
So just
figure.
this
Yeah.
button here to reorder them.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's easy. Yeah. Oh, good. And then they can change their numbers too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, sometimes that's even easier, on the third, on the second one, let me change it to number 2, because right now it doesn't matter. But it's good. Yeah, we can change order. But everybody we only have 3 groups, and so in this case, we're doing. So Philip, what group are you in?
I'm in the group that I was in before. We're
Okay,
all on
have
board.
you posted it?
Have we posted it? No, we're gonna make it like right after this class.
Why not do it now?
Right now, right now?
Right now, yeah.
You know what? You got it.
Well, what are you waiting for? To put in your
Phil,
names and numbers?
I was just having a snack.
Good. Whatever it is, you can eat and put it into.
You guys can
Right?
just copy paste
So
it.
let's
It's
not
pretty
be
simple.
Yeah, we'll copy
what
paste
what
it.
are we waiting for?
Wait, Phil, I want to be with you.
Okay, so
Can we
let's
have
get
it?
that off.
Can
Folks,
can I-
we're recording, so I don't need to talk about who wants to be with whom, but let's get it done.
Can I add him into my?
Phil, just get it done. That's it. We don't need to hear a lot of other issues of what it is and what. And if you're going to use the same group or whatever, put them in now. And even if you're not sure, I
Well,
would
no,
put
that
in
was
the
my
same
question. Can I add another person to our group, even though we had 6 people?
6 people you have.
Our
If you have
first
6
group?
people, then you
Or
break
the-
into and you want to add another one. You want to have 7.
No, you have 5 right now. It would have
we have
it would
5
5
right
is
now.
5 is maximum.
Oh, sorry,
So
Charles.
if you want to have, You want to have 6, you can divide it up in 2, 3, 3. But 5 is maximum. So in this case, let's do it now. And we don't have to wait for later. We don't have to wait for tomorrow. And if you're not sure, put in your old group. And if they don't like it, let them switch. But we need it because what it is not this. It is the idea. So you have to come up with a draft for Monday. Wednesday, it's due that I sign off. Monday, you have to come up with a draft already, filling out what are you going to look at?
Yeah, Philip added it.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, so so we're able to continue with it. So how are we doing in the groups? Let's just finish up so that way we can get most of them. So Daniel, how am I doing in those groups?
Let's see. There's 3.
3 groups up there?
Yeah, Philip added his, and then
Okay.
group 2, group 1.
And Cole, what's going on with you?
I just added the group. We're
Okay, so let's go. And Destiny?
I think my group might just keep the same one.
So keep it, so put it in. Not I think. Put it in. Later on, you can make changes. But this one, you know everybody's in there. If you're not sure, we're not doing later on, some of you may want to do the AI for online dating, make it easier. Tinders and so forth, they're now adding AI to it. They're seeing what you like and everything else. But for right, you can add that later on. How do you get groups? How do you get teams? How do you work with teams? I've worked with somebody from Miami-Dade. What are they doing? They're looking at how teams work together and trying to give feedback using AI. Who is like the quiet one, who's giving more important advice, trying to train people to be better group leaders, better group members. That could be something that you want. But there shouldn't be a way in which I'm waiting. What are we waiting for? Let's get it through and that's it. You got it? So Evan, what group are you in?
I'm with Michael Russo.
Okay, so did you put yours in already?
No.
So what are you waiting for?
I just made a folder.
So make a folder and put everybody's name in. What is this? We're talking about, if this is the hard part, guys, we're in real big trouble, right? If this is what we need weeks to decide on that. I didn't think this would be such a big thing. And Sophia, what's with your group? You put it in already?
Yeah, mine's already in.
Okay, perfect. Okay. And you should have some ideas and think about some ideas. Do you have some ideas what you think you want to do? What are you
Yeah.
interested in?
Yeah.
Like what?
I'm not entirely sure yet, but my group and I are going to discuss after this.
Okay, good.
Professor,
Yes.
can our project be a product and not a service-based
Like what?
consulting?
You want to do a product of AI?
Yeah, like an AI product that could help.
Okay, if you do that, then
something.
you have to review who are the competitors.
Would we have to create like a prototype if we did that?
Yeah, that's the problem, right? So you may want to create, what you may want to do is you're reviewing things that exist now that aren't as are not ideal, right? You have a product, you could do a product, but you have to look at what is the competition now? What is good about the competition, what's lacking about the competition, and how your product is going to be better. So you would have to have some kind of some way to at least describe it. You may not be able to make the large language model and do the programming, but you would have to kind of do some prototype of what you would think it would look like. That definitely is a possibility. So maybe what you could do is say, we're in the process of developing this. This is the state of the art of our competitors. And we're looking for maybe funding and some people to help us to create it more. This is how we think this product should work. How does that sound? Yes, no? Who
That
has
sounds good, Professor. I think we'll end up doing the service because the
Yeah,
product
but
might
you
be,
understand, but Michael,
yeah.
it's excellent. It's an excellent point that you put in, Michael. It just, the question is, what product do you want to do? And if you want to put up a product, of course, just like anything else, you want to say, okay, what's my competition? So it's like, I want to do a chat bot. You know, I want to do maybe a student chat bot, or I want to do an online dating coach. Help people, or I want to do an intern, or I want to do a coaching service or something that does a chat bot or something. So you have to describe it. It's doable, but you want to see, just like anything, I'm going to make a product. I think it looks like this, and write a couple of sentences in it. You have to actually first compare it. You know, compare what it looks like. But it's good that we talk about it. It's I applaud you, Michael, for trying to think about it. You understand? I don't want to shut you down. It's just the opposite. But if you do that, right, just like you would do in real life, we all like to create a product, and then we can be, you know, sitting on our yacht, right, as the money comes in. But the idea is, there's a lot of people, there's a lot of products there. How's ours going to be any better? Do we even know what the competition is? Many times I do this for a living, where I work with companies, and many times I am just shocked that they don't know their competition. I said, how could you not? And they say, oh, there's no competition. That's BS. There's always something that is doing it. And even if it's manual, yeah, there's always competition. You have to know what it is. You know, what are you replacing? What problem are you trying to solve? Great. What else? So we have it basically. So Caden, you have your group? Yes, Caden? Yes,
Yeah,
no?
yeah, sorry, I couldn't find the unmute button.
Okay,
Yeah.
I know my mute, but my family always tells me to put it on mute. They're trying to find the mute button for me.
Yeah.
But they don't get it. Tell me then, Caden, so what is your, so you were having the same, you posted everything? So Daniel, just show me the, share with me the screen.
Sure,
For
1 second.
everybody's. So we'll see, we should get, because we've got more people showed up at the end at least. So how many do we got? So I
Yeah,
got,
8 now.
okay, are they all numbered? They're missing some now. Is there a 5?
No 5.
Okay, so there's not 8, but anyways, we're getting there. So then renumber it, right? If it's 4, right? Those that are group 5, 6, and 7. So we got 7 groups here. How many do I have in this one? What do I have? The one above 4, how many do I have there?
This one has 5.
5, okay. And this one has 4, okay.
This one
And if
also
you
has 5.
and if you want, okay, and if you want 3, you can have 3. Okay, and then what is Isabel? And what is this? And Matt, you can't put in, we don't know any emails and phone numbers to put in. My goodness, let's finish it. You know? So Isabel, finish that. Okay. So at least we got that done. And anything else? So think about it. Actually, I think that's a fantastic idea. Do you hear that, Michael Russo? Is get one of the, even 2 of them, get Gemini and get ChatGPT to be with your group. And they brainstorm with you. And even have them, when one puts it in, like Gemini, you can even copy and paste, and then you can even use it in voice too, where they talk to each other and come up with areas. And brainstorm, and you guys decide what you want to do. Use them for your brainstorming. Okay. All right. So let's go on. Let's do, let me share my screen. Stay with me if you want. And let's move on to this. Okay, so I need to be in my other, right? My attendance. And Daniel and Dylan, thank you again for your help. And let me just, what do I have to do? This record set and check in. Check in, start checking in. I'm in K, 7561. Stay with me if you have questions. You have questions about the project.
Bye, Dr. Rush. Thanks.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
Peace.
Seven, 5, 6, 1. Does everybody get it? And Charlie, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Rush.
You're welcome.
Hey, you, Dr. Rush.
Charlie, thanks for helping out.
He was sending me the messages to reply to.
Good. Perfect. Okay, Tej, what's up? Batya? Is he here?
I don't know.
He was here. Sometimes people, let me end check-in. 7561, right? I'm ending check-in.
Yeah, and end recording.
Thank you so much for reminding me. Let me stop sharing, then I can end my recordings. YouTube.